Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, viewers from across Canada and the wide world web. We're here at the Kelowna Curling Club for the 2016 Travelers Curling Club Championship. It's Friday afternoon action. This is the quarterfinals that we're watching. It has been an incredible week of curling, and after tie-breaking games this morning, the dust settled out a bit, and we are at the quarterfinals. Currently here on sheet number 8, watching the ladies, Newfoundland and Ontario, for the next 8 ends, and we're looking forward to some great action. It's Laurie Seaman here with Steve Wright, and we are off. First rock, Ontario has the hammer, and the game is on. Steve, what kind of game do you think we can expect from these ladies today?
You know, right out of the gate, Team Newfoundland has chosen to attempt a center guard to get things started and push the envelope, so to speak. Came up a little bit light of the hog line, but Team Ontario has chosen not to throw a corner guard. They've requested their lead to throw the first rock wide outturn into the house.
I have to say, after watching curling all week and watching these terrific curlers figure out the ice here, and the fact that the ice has been so consistent from game to game and day to day, I'm not sure that I've seen a rock not make it across the hog line. That may be one of the first hog rocks that I've seen.
Yeah, if there's ever going to be a hog rock on this ice, it's going to be in the first end.
In the first end.
With where there's still a little bit of question about the speed on a couple of lines. You get a couple of rocks down any certain spot, and it gets very, very fast, very quickly. Nice shot by the lead for Newfoundland, Fitzpatrick. Ontario got the hammer in this to start this game based on their draw to the button. Both skips through the draw, one in turn, one out turn, and Ontario was just a few inches closer.
And action has stayed in the house as lead Tracy Hiddink goes after this red rock in the house, and a very nice throw. She's sitting, she's rolled and sit towards the middle of the ice here, the middle of the house, and changing up the location of the play.
I spoke to Tracy for a couple of minutes before the game, and she was very, very excited about playing today, and she was very, very excited about saying hello to all of their friends and family back home, especially to everybody from the Lindsay Curling Club. And a special thank you to their manager, Dave Nye, for everything that he's done for them, helping them prepare for this event.
It's really been a community effort to get these folks here, hasn't it?
It sure has.
Lots of greetings sent back home to provinces across the country and clubs across the country who are cheering on their teams here today and this week. And that Newfoundland rock just rolling to the outside and hanging on there, forcing our Ontario second to take a shot at this.
Ontario had a decision to make, a quick one, whether to hit this rock at the back of the 12-foot or freeze to it or throw a corner guard. So she's chosen to take the more conservative route, but it is the first end, and just get a feeling out and get the butterflies out and let everybody sweep a couple of rocks and get comfortable out there.
Get warmed up a little bit. And I apologize, that was actually Ontario third, Susan Cully, who made that hit and roll out.
The environment on the ice is going to be a little bit different out there today for these players. All week long they've been playing with 12 sheets of ice on the go. And for this afternoon's action, we've got 4 sheets. So it's going to be a lot quieter, and each team has an open sheet on one side of them and a game on the other. So
So just a little bit of a different atmosphere than what they first experienced when they got here, with 12 sheets going, men and women, and a large, loud facility here at the Kelowna Curling Club.
Yeah, it's going to be a little bit quieter out there, a little easier to communicate as well.
Steve mentioned that there are 4 sheets in action this afternoon. We have the 4 quarterfinals on today, and we'll be giving you updates from those other sheets. The men's quarterfinal on sheet 5 is, of course, being broadcast here, and you can switch over to the other channel and watch New Brunswick and on Alberta. New Brunswick and Alberta battle it out on sheet 5.
Yeah.
And here we have third Pat Spracken with the Newfoundland team. We've had a few teams here this week where it was a family affair, and this team is definitely a family affair, and I'm just getting myself mixed up here a little bit, so I'll just watch the curling for a minute. And
I spoke to Pat for a couple of minutes before the game, and she's quite the character. She wanted to make sure that we said hi to a few people for her, with her, especially her husband George and her daughter Rochelle, some special friends, Anne, Sherry, Lynn, Ruth, and Bernice, and she said, don't forget Mitchell, my grandson. So hope you're watching, Mitchell.
The Newfoundland team enjoyed themselves on Tuesday night. They were out on one of the social activities that took place here with this event, and a walkabout around town. A few rocks in play here.
Really nice outturn come around attempt, half buried, with the hammer, trying everything she can to produce the deuce, get off to a good start. The short run back is now being attempted. Looks like it just over curled.
And we have talked all week about this ice being ice that curls a lot and really sensitive to the release and the amount of weight that is thrown.
Now, Team Ontario is going to stay away from the corner guard situation and draw to the open side and try and produce their deuce this way. So she wants this rock. She's requested it to be top 12, so there's no hit and roll behind shot rock.
You can hear them calling, full 12, full 12.
Excellent shot.
Well judged. Taking a close look there to see whose second shot.
She's chosen to attempt the short run back on the just off center guard onto shot rock. And judging by this call, I think she thinks she's second shot right now. It's hard for us to tell up here. We don't have the direct overhead camera.
Camera work and cabling and production work has come to us from New Horizons Productions in Kelowna, and we are very grateful to have them on board. All week they've been supplying this terrific video coverage.
Just that little bit extra weight in that rock did not curl as much as she needed it to. Now Ontario has an opportunity to just tap that rock out. Lie 3 I think we would see Newfoundland attempt the double.
Taking another close look. Maybe it's not as clear as we might think it is. So this is Ontario skip Julie O'Neill. And her sister in the house right now, third Susan Colley, holding the broom.
And her mother, Susan Cully, playing lead. Julie asked us to say hello to her sons, Ben and Braden, and her in-laws, who I believe are looking after Ben and Braden right now, so Mom can be here pursuing her dream, and that's Dan and Sandy. But the whole team made a special point of making sure that we said hi to Nan, who's 92 years old and a curling fan. Hope you're watching, Nan.
Hello, Nan. Big shout out. Feeling proud of their the Ontario team here.
Just a slight miscue by Ontario. She got rid of the object rock, but did not stick around to lie 3. So it gives Newfoundland an opportunity to remove shot stone and potentially roll behind the biter that is on the top 12 on the right hand side of the sheet, and force Ontario to draw for their single point.
Newfoundland team comes to us from Corner Brook, Newfoundland. Corner Brook Curling Club. Big shout out to anyone there that has the opportunity to watch them curl this afternoon in these quarterfinals. Skip Susan Curtis here with her last rock.
And we'll see Team Ontario now attempt a nose hit for a 2. For 2 points in the first end. Start off, and I think both skips will be satisfied with the start. Newfoundland, they did not give up 3 points, where there was a potential for 3 at one point for Team Ontario, and Team Ontario, who executed well, made a good come around and produced their 2 points. So.
Yes, Ontario will be happy with this start, and up nice, fairly clean end for them.
And Team Newfoundland will get the hammer in the second end. And
skip Julie O'Neill delivers, and there'll be 2 on the board for Ontario. First end done. Get the first end jitters out of the way. Move on to the second end. So now I have my family connections straightened out here. So Julie and Lisa, the third and the skip on the Ontario team, are sisters with the and curling with their mom, their mom Pat, or their mother Susan, sorry. Real family gathering. Calling for it into the house. She'd like to see it go into the top 4. What do you think about this coming into the house on the second end, Steve?
You know, it's the more conservative call. If this was executed properly, it would be a decision for Newfoundland whether their options would be to hit it or throw a corner guard or freeze on it. And now it's pretty straightforward for Newfoundland. Throw the corner guard and start working towards your 2 now.
So since that draw slid through the house, I'm going to guess that the ice has keened up to normal conditions, as it does here in Kelowna quite quickly.
It looks fast out there.
And this was a call for in front of the house, wasn't
for a guard.
it?
Yeah.
So we've talked about this before, coming towards the glass and the different, right, the different speed that it takes.
Just that little, I think it's a combination of the first hand being a little bit slower, having 16 rocks thrown on the sheet, and then coming back towards the glass where it's historically just a little bit faster anyway, and then having the ice speed up for second end speed.
Pretty good.
So
They haven't laid a broom to this one either. Put a stopwatch on this and we'll see what the time is from hog line to hog line. I've timed that at 13.3.
Probably a little bit heavy, yeah.
Slides to the back of the 12.
Now Team Newfoundland has a decision to make, and both these skips are very experienced. They both have a plan. They both know exactly what they're doing. She's given her player the same turn, the same shot that she was a little bit heavy with on the first one, and has requested a corner guard. This one's gliding as well.
That looks like that may have fooled the sweepers a little bit.
Yes. Okay.
What they may be used to seeing here, it's coming off the center line with that great curl that we have here in Kelowna, on the Kelowna ice, is that as the rock starts to curl, the rock tends to slow down a little bit. In this case, that one just slid right through.
Most of these ladies, I've noticed too, have very nice releases of the rock when they're putting their handles on. Nice 2.5 to 3 rotations.
How important is that on swingy ice like this?
If you throw a rock with less handle, either a soft handle or no handle, or where the rock only curls a half a rotation or one rotation, the running surface has more opportunity to dig in, and you'll find situations where it looks like there's 7 feet of curl in a particular spot, and the reality of it was a soft release, and they go and you just can't stop them.
No opportunity to judge it well or to sweep it, to help it with sweeping, hey? Close to the double.
Ontario has another opportunity to put a rock in the top of the house. It's not a situation here where they're thinking steel. They're thinking force.
Okay.
Force of 1. If that rock that's in the house is sitting above the tee line, top 4 or top 8, I think you'd see this rock being requested to be a center guard. So a force of 1 here would be...
That would be a successful end.
Yes. We're going to see another double opportunity. Hit and stick. Hit and stick is the call. Lots of rocks left to come.
Newfoundland skip Susan Curtis holding her broom for her second Kathy Miles. Looking for the double. And this one hit on the inside rather than the outside, like last rock. Well, she's lined them up there. Makes it a little bit more of a difficult throw.
She just has to be a little bit cuter with her weight. Has to bring the weight down a little bit to be able to hit a half a rock and still stick around and keep the force in play. So it looks like she's thrown fairly firm weight here at this. And if she sticks around, that was exactly what the call was.
And working it.
And
just dug its claws in at the last second here, last rotation. Now Newfoundland's thinking, is it time to make a change in approach? She's asked her third, Pat Sprackland, to take this one out and hit it on the nose. Pat was telling me the other night that she's a regular triathlete, although she has not been able to participate the last couple of years due to injuries. It's a sport that she has loved over many years. Lots of athletes out here and lots of different sports represented by these curlers. And we're happy to have them here as curlers.
The Ontario third drawing to the top of the house to lie 3. Looks like this one's a little bit hot as well.
Look at that, just sliding through, catching these players. Just catching these players off guard a little bit, not using their sweepers to their full potential. Bit of an opportunity slipped away there. Gives Pat the chance to take this one out. Look at that curl across there. A little bit light on the weight.
Just the sweepers were not able to hold it.
And it slides through the back. Ontario skip Julie O'Neill, deciding to put her rock in the top 4, I believe, on the center line.
See if we can just get top 12.
Julie's been curling since she's 6 years old. She hasn't missed a season yet. She has a 2.5-year-old son, Benjamin, and a 3-month-old son, Braden. Her boys are back home with her, with the in-laws. Her husband, Mark, has accompanied here and is sitting in the audience cheering her on.
No! Just top 12! Just here! No!
Wanting it to curl, talking to it a little bit here to get it to bend. Does talking to the rocks work?
Yeah, it costs extra for rocks with ears. They have figured out draw weight. I think you'll see all the players on the ice now after one shot executed properly. Everybody had a stopwatch on it. Everybody knows exactly what the weight is now after that rock.
And once you throw a rock like that, you should have draw weight in your back pocket, is the saying?
That's the name of the game.
Simple game.
Simple.
Put the broom down, throw the right weight.
Or as my team tells me, put the broom in the right spot.
And as I always tell my skip, it's just a guide anyway, isn't it?
That's it.
Now, what is she hoping to have as an end result here?
The problem rock for Ontario was that one that was, or for Newfoundland, I'm sorry, was the one that was just thrown because it was blocking the 4-foot path. So her takeout attempt over curled just a hair, but it did move the rock away from the 4-foot. So
she wants to keep the 4-foot open. That's one of the goals here.
For when all heck breaks loose, it's nice to have a skip that can just draw to the 4-foot for one and go to the next end.
Right. Okay.
So Team Ontario is going to try and come just a little bit deeper than they did on the last one, somewhere at the top 8-foot where Team Newfoundland cannot hit it and be shot rock without rolling one way or another. Then the risk is rolling out. And she really wants to force her to draw.
Wants to force her to drop.
Against 3.
Not the most comfortable feeling for Escape.
You know, these girls are so seasoned that I wouldn't bet against her. She's got a beautiful delivery and a lifetime of experience out there.
Yep. Whoa. Whoa. Whoa.
This one's hanging out just a little bit more than the last.
So, there it is.
4 foot's open. Most of the, a good chunk of the 8 foot is open there too.
No hesitation at all. Draw to the 4 foot. The other option is to, I believe, if she nose hits this rock on the far right, that she would still be shot.
Steve, I think she was listening to you.
It would have stayed nose, I think.
So Newfoundland skip Susan Curtis has chosen the hit and stay.
And as a skip, the entire end has been played out turn. All of the draws that you've watched, all the draws that you've timed have been out turn.
That's right.
So her draw for 1 would be an in turn down a path that's. She has a really good idea what the speed is.
Right.
But if there's any doubt at all, this is definitely the correct call.
Yes.
So a little more comfortable maybe with what this ice is doing
Whoa.
right here.
Whoa. Whoa. Never.
And
Yellow.
steal of 3.
Okay. My goodness. Yeah.
So miscue there. Puts up 3 for Ontario on the board. Fast jump out in front here for Ontario for a score of now of 5-0 after the second end. You can see on our screen here some of the sponsors and local companies who've been involved with helping this event come together. Couldn't do it without this support and donations. Speaking of donations, something that's quite unique here to the Travelers Championship is a silent auction in which each of the teams brings items to participate in a silent auction, and the teams are really creative in the items that they bring. There's a lot of fantastic merchandise sitting on some tables back here, lots of them representing their local, provincial lore and manufacturing and goods from their provinces. So these items have been here on the silent auction block all week. That silent auction closes tonight, I believe, at 7 o'clock. The interesting thing about this initiative is that the silent auction, the monies that come in from it, are used to help support junior curling in Canada. So the province, the provincial team that raises the most money through their silent auction efforts will take home a $6,000 grant for their curling club. And there'll be some other awards of $1,000 as well. So it's a really nice initiative to help support these hometown clubs. If you go to the Travelers website, or curling.ca, you can see a banner on there that directs you to this initiative, and you and others can support the team of their choice, the province of their choice, by making online donations in the province's name.
Well, we've just witnessed 2 perfect shots by the lead, Tracy Hiddink, up 5, top 4, top 8. I had a quick chat with Tracy before the game. Met her husband Andy, who's sitting in front of me right now, She wanted to say hi to Raylene and Griffin, her grandchildren, and a special happy birthday to her daughter Amanda, and hello to Jocelyn and Danielle. So make sure you tell your mom that we did that for her, okay?
All right, a big shout out to those family members in Lindsay, Ontario. I just took a peek at this fundraising activities online and for the Love of Curling fundraising contest, and right now the donations are sitting at almost $30,000.
Wow.
Terrific.
Let's grab this one. Okay.
Skip Julie O'Neill has asked her mom, Susan Cully, to tap this back. Tap back the yellow
Stop a
rock,
bit.
move things around a bit here.
Yep. No, it's good. Yep. Yep. Whoa, whoa, close. Yep.
Well, being up five points after two ends, Team Ontario would prefer to play a much cleaner end, but the experience on the Newfoundland skip, she threw a freeze on a couple of rocks at the top of the house, and forced Ontario to not attempt the takeout and to draw. So more rocks in play is definitely in Newfoundland's favor, being down 5. If they can just score 2 here, they're right back in the game. Find a way to steal one and give up one, get 2, give up one, get 2, and they're definitely not out of this game.
Lots of action yet to come in this 2016 quarterfinal at the Travelers Curling Cup Club Championships. Newfoundland second, Kathy Miles tapped that Ontario rock back out and has flopped to the right side of the sheet here.
Yes! Really hard. Okay, whoa, 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 whoa. No.
It's curling up nicely.
Ontario line 3. Newfoundland chooses to go around the whole works to the more than likely to the back 4 in order to get a good portion of this rock buried.
Nice shots.
Second, Kathy Miles trying to freeze in there. Nice weight. Just over curled a little bit.
Just a hair. So
Kathy Miles' mother, Eva, is in the audience today. Has traveled here from Newfoundland. Welcome to Kelowna. And she wanted us to recognize that Kathy is the daughter of Bob Freeman. He was the mate on the Bass Buckle team out of Corner Brook, Newfoundland, and they won the Seniors World Curling in Sweden in 2004 and again in Scotland in 2005 with his curling mates Harvey Holloway and Jerry Young. So Mom Eva wanted us to give a big shout out to husband Bob, who's back in Newfoundland, and I hope he's enjoying watching the curling.
What? I was tight.
So a bit of a miscue on that. Did it over curl?
just over curled, and she removed her own rock, removed shot rock.
It did curl, but
This gives Newfoundland an opportunity to lie 2.
That's Brocklin attempting the hit out here to lie 2.
This is looks good. Does she have the roll? She does.
She really like to roll right over there.
Beautiful.
Very nice, Pat. Nicely called, nicely thrown, and executed. Good weight.
Yes! Hooray! Hard! Yep! Hard! Hard!
Sweeping hard on this one. Lots of encouragement from the skip there.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's one of those throws that I've experienced lots in my career where before I let go of it, the skip is calling hard for the sweepers to get on it. So that'd be an indication that maybe he was sliding just a little bit inside the line of the
Might have
broom.
been just a little bit tight out of her hand, just judging by the volume coming out of the skip's mouth.
We give our skips gray hair,
That's
don't
it.
we?
Opportunity here for Team Newfoundland to try and set up their deuce. These 2 rocks at the top of the house are lined up directly onto shot stone, which
Oh, is that just going to sneak over the... Oh, look at that. They're close to kicking it off. Pat's draw attempt and guard attempt just not quite over the hog line. Removed from play. She was attempting to throw up a guard to take away the run back opportunity.
her call was to come around and freeze on the rock on the button.
Oh, I
Very
see.
aggressive.
Very
and,
aggressive, yeah.
Because it's difficult to get in there far enough to not leave a double. But I think she was looking at the run back and giving herself options that if it did come up and tick the guard and roll over, it would change the angle on those 2 rocks. And just the throw was just a bit light.
So what will Julie be looking to do here?
Instead of playing the run back, she's chosen a down weight takeout to remove shot rock off the button. So we're probably looking at something like bumper weight here.
Okay.
Yep!
This nice swinging ice here will help her with this shot if she's got the right weight.
No!
Must be close. Look at it curling.
Look at it go. Shot called, shot made.
All right, great throw.
Yep. What a turnaround. This house has looked different.
Try draw down.
Advantage
All right.
has swapped
Yeah.
a couple of times here.
Yes, back and forth, back and forth. So Newfoundland skip has chose to change the turn to come around the wide side. And ideally she'd be biting the 4-foot half buried. And there would be no run back on the top rock. Her other option would be to go around though with the sort of corner guard that's biting the top 12 on the intern side, and try and set up her deuce that way.
Yes!
Okay, the sweepers have been working it since she released. Trying to get around that was up, rocks up front.
Looked like her weight was just fine, just not quite enough ice.
Julie taking a close look here to see what their situation is.
Like, do you think to come to here? Yeah, or even right back here?
Took right off there.
Pardon?
Once it starts to move, it just goes. Good, lovely weight. It will be perfect.
Okay, after a little bit of discussion and taking a look at some options here.
Yeah, their discussion was where to put this rock so that there's no double. That worst case scenario for Team Ontario is that Newfoundland has an opportunity for one, and then that would be a success for them. I think her first thought, though, is that she can make Newfoundland's shot very difficult for one by placing this rock properly. So she's taken a lot of ice to get around. This rock's hanging out a little bit.
That hasn't taken the big swoop at all.
Now, the thing that they talked about was to not make her double easy, or make her 2 points easier by setting up a double on that fully buried or 7/8 buried rock at the top of the 8. And as the curling gods have stricken, it's in a position where Newfoundland's shot for 2 just got a little bit easier. She still has to execute it. She has to throw enough weight to take out, remove 2 rocks and stay. And that's with us assuming that rock at the top 12, the Newfoundland rock at the top 12 is out counting the wide
yellow. We've seen a couple players take a close look at that, so I'm not sure it's really clear which one is third or fourth rock there.
Hopefully she makes the double, and
we'll find out. Right. So here's Susan Curtis attempting the double. They're in turn down the center line.
Hard.
She needs about a quarter of this rock.
Just a good half, and just a little bit too much.
Yep.
So a steal of 1.
So the trick with that double would be to throw with enough weight that you can come across and push it, hit a little less of that first rock.
A little less, yeah. A third of that rock, I think, would have done it. Looked like it from here.
It's a nice throw.
And overcurled by an inch or 2.
Unfortunate result here. Gives
try.
Ontario one steal of 1 here in the third end.
Her draw hit
for a
perfect
total
line,
of
only just didn't
6
have the weight.
to nothing.
I think we'll see Team Ontario try and play a much cleaner end. A few less rocks in play. The first 2 rocks by her lead, Tracy, will be requested to be top 4, top 8.
Right into the house then.
Yeah. And I think we'll probably see a couple of corner guards from Newfoundland.
Just take an opportunity here to give you some updates on the scores across the sheets. In the other quarterfinals here at the 2016 Travelers Cup Championships. Next door to our sheet here on sheet number 9. Manitoba playing Ontario.
Ziggy had too much.
I'm sorry, rather Manitoba playing BC. And we're just working on finishing up the third end. BC's ahead right now, 2-0. BC scored in the first end and stole in the second end, so for a total of 2-0. Over on sheet 4 in the other women's quarterfinals, we have Quebec playing against Nova Scotia. And Quebec had to come through a tiebreaker this morning against Saskatchewan. Were successful in that bid and are now playing against Nova Scotia here in the other quarterfinal. Score is 4-2 right now for... Can you help me out here, Steve? It's 4-2. I can see the score, and I believe, yes, that's for Quebec over Nova Scotia.
Quebec over Nova Scotia,
and they are in the fourth end.
Yes.
The men's quarterfinal, and sheet number 5 is 1-1 for Nova Scotia and Alberta in the other men's quarterfinal.
It's They haven't updated the score on sheet 5 yet with Nova Scotia. Alberta just stole 3 points.
Big end.
So we saw a couple of steals in the men's game on sheet 5, and in sheet 9, BC, our friends from the Comox Valley Curling Club, just stole 2 points to go up 4-0. So
Steals across the board here.
yes.
So that Alberta Nova Scotia men's quarterfinals, the score is now 4-1 for Alberta over Nova Scotia.
So many Wheaties this
She
morning.
was like, where was Mom? I was like, she thought it was a throw.
And back on our sheet,
Where are you
the
going?
goal was to keep it clean, and it's very clean.
Looks pretty clean to me. Yeah.
Speaking of clean, we've found that the sheets throughout the week have stayed
I don't know it.
really
Nope.
quite
Slide.
clean. We haven't seen a lot of picks. We haven't seen the ice fudging or misbehaving an awful lot. Overall, the participants have been really happy with the condition of the ice.
All right, Kathy, see what
And
we can
even
do.
in regular league play here at the Kelowna Curling Club, this is one of the few clubs in the country that does not allow anything other than curling shoes, proper curling shoes onto the ice. So our manager here,
Yes,
Jock
now.
Tyre,
Be
has
careful.
tirelessly put together
Uh-huh.
probably 150 or 200 pairs of
Now,
curling
see
shoes
what
on the wall
happens.
downstairs. So every person that comes onto our curling surface is wearing proper cleaned footwear, which really helps keep the debris down out there and on the carpets and on the boards, and everything is very clean. So we've witnessed players being able to execute shots without without a worry of debris. So
And kudos to the curling club and the ice makers and maintainers for keeping that the ice integrity intact here.
yeah, just a great job by everybody.
Hard! Hurry! No.
It's part of the fun activities here with the Travelers Curling Club Championship. Teams were asked to fill out a fun questionnaire with some
The other side, okay, yeah.
silly questions that they were asked. And
Put
one
it-
of the questions asked to the
Put it in the
Newfoundland team
house,
was,
yeah.
if you were living in Canada, would you rather A, walk the entire way to work on icy roads every day,
I threw the slow
or
dart.
B, drive, but have to shovel every kilometer during your commute for the rest of your life?
Oh my God.
Quite an interesting question. And their response was walk! Exclamation mark. We get way too much snow here in western Newfoundland to consider ever shoveling every kilometer. It's like infamous corner brook snow they're talking about. Of course, Newfoundland will be getting geared up for a big event here this spring 2017 with the Brier coming to Newfoundland for the first time, I understand.
Yeah,
Or
Brad
to St. John's, I suppose, for the
Yes.
first time. Exactly.
Brad Gusha is quite excited and quite involved. He's involved in pretty much everything Newfoundland. So
When it comes to curling, I think he's brought Newfoundland up to the level of excitement that it is when it comes to curling, because of his successes in the elite
Quick,
curling
eh?
circles.
I said, is she really quick?
yeah, you see a lot of that. I mean, Northern Ontario, Al Hackner, when he made his runs, he encouraged curling in that area of the province.
Speaking of Al Hackner, during the tiebreaker this morning, sorry. No, this is the last game last night I'm thinking of, with Northern Ontario playing in front of us here. Northern Ontario brought moose. There was pictures of mooses on the windows, and there was a picture of Al Hackner out there watching them curl. The teams loved it.
Team Newfoundland separating the house, trying to work their deuce and keep themselves in this game. Strategy's sound. It's just a question of execution now.
I hardly put anything on that. I said I hardly put anything on that, and it's still so fast, right? Try it again. Yeah.
Getting wide? Am I getting wide?
So this experience for curlers to the Travelers Curling Club Championships is something of a really special, a special experience. They've had the opportunity all week to wear their team's colors and to come out of their province as representatives of clubs throughout their province. We just talked a little bit about some elite curlers. I think some folks are describing this as curling has gotten to a place in its development that we have almost two tiers of curling, if that's the right word and term to use. And we have the elite curlers and the elite championships, and those curlers who have jobs that allow them to curl every weekend in quite far distances, and if they have jobs at all and are only curling. And here at the Curling Club Championships, we have teams who are regular club curlers, love the sport, are competitive, but hold down their regular jobs and curl out of their clubs and have the opportunity to come here and be treated like elite curlers.
And they're very, very proud of that fact. I've spoken to so many people this whole week that just the experience of coming to an event like this has made all of the sacrifice, all of the working on your game and the practice and because these, like we keep saying, club curler, these ladies and gentlemen, they're serious about this. This is they're good curlers. They know they're good curlers, and they're very proud to represent their provinces, and they're proud that they got to that stage, and they're taking full advantage of every opportunity given to them here. So
definitely the cream of the crop out of the province. It's not easy to get out of any province at any level, so these teams are well accomplished. And one of the things that they would experience at this event that they may not have had the opportunity to experience very often, if at all, in their past curling experiences is being mic'd up, and we've been listening into some of the conversations. So that's something that would have gotten used to this week, and something that is new to them. Mm-hmm. And the other thing is, and you can see on the rocks, there's the green light handles. And if we take a look at the rock just being delivered there, maybe we'll pick up on the green light that's showing on that handle. And what that means is that the rock has been released, let go of, before the thrower has reached the near hog line.
Well, the rocks have sensors in the handles, and there is a sensor at the hog line that if your fingers are still touching the handle when the rock crosses the hog line, the lights turn red. And there's absolutely no debate about whether you had released the rock before the hog line, and that if that rock turns red, that rock is removed. But it is a little bit different when you're sitting in the hack, because you have to reset the handle. So it goes red, and then you turn the handle up, clean the bottom of the rock, and then put it down, and that resets the handle. Now, if you take a lot of time between then, you've got about 15 seconds to start moving with that rock. And if you don't, then you have to actually reset the handle again.
Okay, before you can deliver. So it takes away the subjectivity of what we used to have is umpires who stood at the hog line and tried to visually pick up on when someone did not release the rock in time. Really a difficult job. Pretty thankless job.
And I think one of the other big changes for these players is coming out to an event like this, is having practice. We don't, as club curlers, we don't in our bond spiels and in our events and in our excuse me,
Bless you.
yeah, in our daily curling lives. You go out and the ice is what it is to start, and having 9 minutes to go down, and then actually not flipping a coin to decide the hammer, actually
Right.
having a 4-person shot, a draw to the button. Everything is new. So these players have adjusted really well. Everybody's on board, and they absolutely love that they get to do just like they do at the Briar or the Scotties.
Exactly.
I've heard that commented a couple of times.
And
you
not
know.
hang up your own score. Somebody else is
And
doing
there's
that for
somebody
you.
down there.
Somebody's doing the measurements, using the measuring stick if there's any need to do any measuring.
One red.
Some little electronic devices, making sure I don't go over the hog line. It's a well-run, really solid event. Great experience for these curlers.
And the players just appreciate it to no end.
So we've just finished the 4th end here of our game. Newfoundland was able to generate 1 point here. So the score of 6-1 as we go into our 4th end break.
Before there was ice, there was our hallway at home. I was always the shy, quiet kid who loved math. But when I saw math come alive in the geometry of the game, I found my passion and my voice. It's a game of precision, a game of inches. It's the equation that now defines who I am.
I'd have to go back to the camera.
This ice is everything. It's where I come to feel close to her, to feel whole. This building helped raise me when my mother no longer could. When I step on the ice, she steps with me. My dad is my rock. We're a team now, like the 4 of us when we step on the ice. People say that this isn't a contact sport, but that's not true. It contacts you where you need it the most.
One might say I was born to overcome challenges. 2 months premature, in and out of the hospital, and a heart condition. My parents call me their miracle baby. I searched for my place in this world, and I found it here. This pebbled ice is where I battle now, and at only 12, I am already a 5-year veteran of this sport. I have my sights set on the Olympics. I will push hard to get there. The only size that matters in this sport is the size of your dreams.
Well, back from the break. After Newfoundland scored in the fourth end, Ontario starts the fifth end with the hammer. And Newfoundland would like to mix it up right away, get a lot of rocks in play. Probably going to see a couple of center guards come.
And across the sheets here, we've got everybody finishing up their fourth end break. So just a quick rundown of what we have for scores on sheet number 9. In the other quarterfinal for the men's, we have BC against Manitoba. And right after the fourth is 4 for BC and 0 for Manitoba. So 4-0 for BC over Manitoba. And the other men's quarterfinals, Nova Scotia and Alberta on sheet number 5. Alberta is ahead by a score of 4-3. Steve, can you see the other ladies' quarterfinal?
Yeah, it's they're at the fourth end break. Alberta's up 4-3 with the hammer in the fifth end when they get underway.
Okay, that was actually the men's
Oh, that was
quarterfinal. So we're going to take a look, if you could, down at 4. The women are playing down there. That's Quebec
and Nova Scotia.
Right.
Yeah, Quebec is up 6-2, and Nova Scotia has the hammer starting the fifth end.
Okay, so that's our wrap up for the other games. And here we've got a few rocks in play. Our friends from Newfoundland will be working hard to keep lots of rocks in play for the next half of the game.
Started out with a center guard. Ontario tried to come around to top 4. It was just a little bit heavy. And the lead for Newfoundland is attempting to come around her center guard. And just a touch light, but that is the good spot for it, short of the house.
A rock in play, something that can be used.
Yeah. Either used as a guard or something to tap up, or they pretty much have to put themselves in steal mode to try and get back in this game.
Ontario lead, Tracy Hiddink is throwing her come around attempt. And I want to make a big shout out to these folks in Ontario that are watching Tracy and the team, cheering them on. So hello to Kayleen and Beener and Brandon. Shout out from Kelowna Curling Club here. Look at this. Nice draw around there by Ontario lead, Tracy Hiddink.
They are not going to make it easy for Team Newfoundland to get back into this game.
Their confidence is showing. Be an interesting exercise to have listened in on the fourth end break here to see what Newfoundland was talking about and how they go about getting prepared for the next half of the game. Fourth end breaks and breaks in general are something too that club curlers wouldn't experience on a regular basis, would they?
Yeah, just another little change, something a little bit different. Excellent shot.
Well done. Rocks in play.
Excellent come around. Kathy Miles asked us to say hi to her sister Tracy and her husband Martin in New Zealand. And she felt we might have some international viewers to our show today. So we say hi to Tracy and Martin. Hope you're watching the broadcast.
Hello down under. I believe there's 1 or 2 curling rinks in Australia.
I believe there is.
I believe that most those curling rinks are populated by a lot of expats, Canadians.
Yeah, there and the southern U.S.
That's right.
The Phoenix Curling Club.
Look at this handle straightened out, and that rock drifted directly sideways. Great weight.
This is shaping up to be a very, very interesting end. A lot of angles in the front. Newfoundland's call here was to come around the whole work. So she's actually drawing around a rock that is almost touching the top 4. So I think this tells you how much swing there is. And this rock has excellent line if they get it by. Just a hair light.
And another red rock in play, though.
And it's very, very usable. She's gonna force Team Ontario to do something that she probably hoped that she wasn't doing in this end, which is throwing a guard.
Interesting. Would she have considered maybe trying to do some peeling and clean up the front?
I would have thought she would have went out and removed tried the double peel on the center guards a little bit earlier in this end.
The top reds there, yes.
The top reds, and it's never the wrong call. These girls know exactly what they're doing, and they're comfortable with the ice. They're confident in their weight, and they've been playing very, very well. And they're in the playoffs. So
And they've been curling together for such a long time as well. They know each other well and their strengths. Play to their players' strengths. So they want to make calls that work for their team.
So interesting situation here for Team Newfoundland. Shot rock does belong to Ontario. Behind 2 center guards and 3 rocks at the top 8 without a direct line of any red rock onto shot rock.
Interesting enough, and they're to gather together. Let's see what they have to say here.
Maybe we can listen in.
Well, if the microphones are working, they're not saying an awful lot. They're doing some looking.
It's still a hard hole to get in there.
We're doing backline weight, I guess, eh?
Just forward, yeah.
Yeah. Well, backline or board? Backline or board?
That's Pat's voice we can hear.
There's the red one out front. Yeah, I know. Yeah, on the center line?
No, not the center line.
No, I'm going to say, you said center line. Yeah.
Okay, Steve, what's the call here?
She's chosen to rearrange the rocks at the front of the house, and she would like contact with the rocks at the top 8 in order to change some angles up.
Right, okay.
This one, I believe she was playing the one on the right-hand side, so this rock actually over-curled a little bit.
Right. And with that weight, she maybe was trying to tap it back onto the yellow in the house, perhaps?
Yeah, they had talked about like bumper weight, and it looked like she threw all of that. She wasn't light.
Right.
So now it's an interesting decision for Ontario with the hammer, line 1. As it sits right now, she has a very, very difficult shot for 2, but she has 4 rocks to go, and Newfoundland still has 3. So things are going to change a little bit down there. I'm not sure that Ontario wants to move these angles around too much, short of throwing a hit on the outside red rock. So she's chosen to freeze or just to draw down to the bunch. Very aggressive call on her part, but she's very comfortable with the ice, and this rock has overcurled. So her weight.
She was hoping to kind of tuck in behind the yellow-red combination out front.
Now, I believe that she can tap this rock to open up shot rocks. Well, she has changed the angles on the top rocks. That there's a much better angle on the red rock going back onto shot rock. And by changing this angle It's all a chess game right now. Both skips know exactly what they're doing. Ontario did not want to change the angles, and Newfoundland does. And
You can see the house coming into view here. Oh, that is an interesting bunch of angles.
okay, as this sits, the angles favor Ontario, and she recognizes the fact. She recognizes the fact that as it sits right now, it's to her advantage, and she is not going to throw a bullet down there. She's going to draw a tight guard and kind of muddy it up a little bit, make it a little bit more difficult for her. This one's got a bit of curling to do, but as we've seen out here, there's no lack of curl if you've got the weight right.
It's going to be a little. It's a tight guard.
There you go.
Okay, nice little chip.
Doesn't matter how you get there sometimes. That's that's exactly what she called.
It's all fair.
Now, I think we'll see Newfoundland have a little bit of a discussion on this about what the weight choice is, because she wants to change the angles, but she wants all of those red rocks to still stay in the house. But she also requires
So I had
a
you there.
path
and
to
okay.
shot rock
Yeah.
eventually.
Yeah, before it came over, yeah.
Try here.
So
Okay.
I think what she's called is
Bang,
Let's
bang.
just listen
Yeah.
in here. Okay. Sorry to cut you off there, Steve.
no worries.
So what now do you think they've settled on here?
I think she's called to come down and rub the red combination. She's not going to get shot rock, but she's going to set up two options for her last shot.
11 seconds, Siggy. Would you like to throw this, Siggy?
So
Yes! Yes! All the way hard, hard, hard. Hard, hard. Hard, 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 hard.
Has the sweepers working all the way down the sheet?
It's okay. No big deal.
Okay. A lot of spectators here today, this afternoon at the quarterfinals.
this is part of the Manitoba contingent.
Big group of Manitobans have made their way west here. Enjoyed their week.
Oh.
Celebrated one of the women's
Too much, eh?
curlers. Diane turned
Yeah,
50
that's what I
this
said.
week,
First
and
I
there were
came over
6
curling.
sisters here, all dressed up and celebrating in various costumes. The cheer you heard was after a really busy, complex end. Manitoba men have scored a single point, and after the 5th end, the score is BC 4, Manitoba 1.
And on our sheet, the last skips rock for Ontario about to be delivered. She's chosen another center guard. Looks like the easiest shot as it sits right now for Newfoundland would be the red, yellow, red tap to the button, and she's chosen to guard this and take that away. And I'm not.
Okay, we're seeing that just come into view right now. So you're talking about the red, yellow, red tap
To the edge of the button.
to the edge of the button. So just trying to outcount the yellow rock that is just about touching the button.
It's gotta hit that side of the nose.
You go over curled.
She's talking about a very thin in-off off the rock that she's approaching right now. And that would be for 2 points.
It's there, but
It's difficult, but it's there.
If we do this and we don't end up getting off, she can
Let's
grab
listen
it,
in here.
It'll be gone. Yeah, it'll be wide open. And we wide open for her twos, for her deuce, right? She doesn't have it right now. Well, yeah, she's coming off her own.
no, can we come off hers? Yeah, over here, here? Isn't that there? No?
I think this is the
Yeah.
ball.
Okay. There you go.
Personally.
Whatever you're comfortable with. What more? What ice do you want this time? A little bit.
So after a bit of discussion here, the Newfoundland skip's chosen to tap up the guard just thrown by the Ontario skip, and it will be a 1, 2, 3, 4 rock raise to the edge of the button to score her single. So I'm glad that we have this one on video, because after she makes this, she'll be showing this to her grandchildren for years to come.
Excellent. Okay, here comes the delivery. Nice clean release.
Whoa! Whoa!
Looks like she's got good weight. Calling her sweepers off. Oh, here it goes. Hey, there we go. That's a
Very
great
nice.
shot. Nicely done. Called and executed.
Good shot. Sorry, I didn't mean. Just gonna try the off.
So now Ontario's looking to see if there's an opportunity here to in off and remove that Newfoundland stone right from play.
Yeah, they figure there's enough curl here. If she can, the question is there enough curl with the weight that
With
she's
weight, right.
she's gonna have to throw? I mean, it's shots there.
She's got to get by that guard too, fairly thin, right, to be able
Oh
to get
my
the in
goodness.
off.
Yeah, she needs. Looks like it's almost
my
just
goodness.
just under a half a stone. So she needs to curl. Judging by the angle that we're looking at the directly at it, it looks like it does have to curl a little bit after it gets past the guard. So
There's a big wall out front, and this looks like the only opportunity for her to get that red rock off the button.
she threw.
One red. Yep.
So steal a one for Newfoundland after the TV shot. After the, I think we'll be seeing that one on Sportsnet tonight.
There we go. Excellent.
Right after the shots of the plays of the week.
Plays of the week.
Yeah.
Plays of the week from the 2016 Travelers Curling Club Championships, showing some of the sponsors here. Grateful for their participation in making this such a terrific event. Epic Groundscapes, Coast Copy Systems, Ambrosia. And here we are in the sixth end of this quarterfinal action. Friday afternoon at the Kelowna Curling Club. score is 6-2 for Ontario over Newfoundland. And with the number of rocks that were in play last end, I have to wonder what Ontario will be aiming to do this end.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. Newfoundland down 4 points with 3 ends to go. So they know exactly what they have to do. They're
I
going to
think
try.
that's when you twist the other
They're going to try
day.
and
I
force
think that's when you
Ontario's
went down.
hand.
When she came out to swing.
But like we've seen so many times before with the 4-rock rule and not being able to remove rocks from the free guard zone, from the hog line to the house until the 5th rock of the end, you do get a couple of guards.
So lots of some opportunity. The free guard zone creates opportunity to score points.
Yeah, you're never out.
The Travelers Curling Club Championship is in its 7th year here in Kelowna. It originally started as the Dominion Curling Club Championships and Dominion was acquired by Travelers in 2013. The grassroots vision of this event came from some grassroots curlers who were employees of Travelers or of Dominion at that time, and discussing the need to have an event just like this that allowed club curlers to experience national level competition. And thanks and kudos to that vision, we've 7 years later gotten to a real stellar place with the club championships, and with Curling Canada now taking over the event and making the Travelers Curling Club Championships one of their events. It gives us some real credibility and some really solid framework for it to continue for years to come.
Yeah, I think the feedback from the players and from their families and the people that are here, I think the amount of talk around curling clubs across the country about this event and about what winning your club championship gives you the opportunity to do, I think bodes very well for this event for years to come. It just keeps getting bigger and bigger, and I know it was our chairman here, Gary Brucker, has been working on this for close to a year with his team of assistants and volunteers, and working closely with Jock Tyre, our manager, to bring this event here and to pull it off, and the number of volunteers.
Oh, I think something might have picked here. Sorry to interrupt you. But then you're exactly right. You were just talking about the volunteers and I believe that over 100 volunteers have been working behind the scenes to make this happen. As in any real quality event, you're not going to be successful without those volunteers.
Yeah. And this is what we'd expect from Team Ontario, being up 4 points with the hammer, is going to try and remove 2 of these center guards successfully, and
keep this a little bit of a cleaner end.
Team Newfoundland's going to try and put up another guard, try and get more rocks in play, and I think we'll see Team Ontario try to double peel them if there is an opportunity.
Keeping this one a little bit clean. Looks like they got the draw weight to the guard here is in their back pockets. A little bit tighter.
Yeah, and that's okay. It's in the house, but we've seen the amount of curl you can go behind a rock that's in the top 12.
You talk about preparation and the amount of work that's happened over the last year. These rings here, travelerscanada.ca rings, those would have been something that put in at the before the ice was put in. So a lot of planning and effort to make sure that that gets done early on in the season.
Yeah, at the very beginning, back in August, when we were preparing. It's a year-long process for an event this big.
And for the rocks with the lights in them, the sensors there are sensors at the hog line. Is that correct?
Yes,
they would
there
have been
is,
put in at that time as well?
Yeah. Yeah, they're well prepared in advance.
Around? Throw front. Okay.
And like we were just talking about, she's going to come around to Newfoundland's going to come around to rock that's in the top 12.
Rocks in play. This is all to Newfoundland's
Rocks in
advantage.
play. You know, if she puts this rock in top button or top 4 foot, if the double's not made, it's a guardable rock. It's a stealable point. So she's doing everything she can to try and generate a steal.
The swinging ice is really conducive to being able to generate points. You're never down that much when you've got this much swing. 3 ends left.
We're going to see a double attempt by Team Ontario. Look at that thing curl.
Sure is.
Yeah, they're not sure whether that grabbed or whether it was release or she did make a red rock go away, so
Yep, nothing wrong with that.
nope.
Would Newfoundland consider using this rock somehow, freezing to it, tapping it back?
You know, she could go the other turn and come
around the
completely
outside?
around. She could throw another center guard. She's just got so many options. Playing a hit on this rock is probably the little bit more conservative.
I'm not getting to the broom.
Here's Skip Julie O'Neill holding the broom for her sister, Lisa Jones, with her mom on the left here. Susan Colley sweeping. Susan's joked that finally, now that she's got to a national, she might hang up her curling shoes and retire. And she swept a beautiful rock from her daughter. Nice double, cleans things up.
And that really simplifies the end for Ontario.
Isn't that a nice story? Mom coming to nationals with her 2 daughters.
Yes.
Not many people can say that.
No. That's and they're just wonderful people too. They're so friendly and so 10 minutes before their game I'm downstairs talking to them, and they should be focusing. They should be getting ready for this game, and they wanted to make sure that we were saying hi to the manager at the curling club and their friends overseas and
That's excellent.
their husbands and the people that were helping with their children and you know, their mums. They're the salt of the earth. They're the real deal.
That's terrific. Takes a community to build a national championship team.
How true it is. Well, just the amount of time off that everyone's got jobs and they all had to book holidays and get out here.
Many teachers out here who are paying for spares to substitutes to work for them while they're gone. Lisa here is from Ontario. Lisa Jones is a supply teacher part-time. And Susan, mother, works as an admin assistant for the city of Kawartha Lakes, and she's hoping to retire in the next couple of years so she can spend more time with grandkids. So lots of Lots of family
Where is
stories.
it? It's gonna curl. Yeah. Yeah. Got a curl. Got a curl, Kathy. Getting better. Yes. Yes. Whoa, 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 whoa.
Nice line here.
Wait. Back. Yeah.
Beautiful
okay.
shot.
Thank you.
Well executed. Look at that curl. Tucked itself around a guard that's in the 12-foot.
In the 12-foot.
And it's
Yep.
in front of the tee line.
Perfect shot. The broom was in the right spot. She threw the perfect weight. The communication between the sweepers and the third in the house was excellent. And
And at one point we heard the call, needs to curl, as it just skinnies by that guard.
yeah,
So the
it
rock
just
was
got
listening.
by. Yeah,
Is
just
that
got
what you
by.
said? Rocks with ears are cost more.
They're expensive. Yeah, those and golf balls.
And golf balls. What? You can get golf balls with ears?
Yeah. So Ontario's going to attempt the short run back. I like her chances of this. I think she's going to be close. Just a hair out.
The other side.
Needed to curl up a little bit more.
Okay.
Fairly
Alright.
straight with that hit weight.
Okay. All right. Yep.
So Newfoundland is, in my opinion, making the right call. I mean, at down 4 points, splitting the house and forcing them to one is not an option. She's going to guard this rock. Maybe even just bring this into to bite the top 12 to lie 2. Try and tease Ontario into throwing the hit at it, being up by 4 points. I think it's in her mind, it's her best chance to steal.
So will this guard be tight? Do you expect that she'll bite the house?
I expect this to be biting the top 12. I think was what they were discussing.
What they were discussing?
And then I would expect Ontario to attempt the double and the blank.
Do you think Ontario would consider the draw?
I don't.
They're up enough. Let's try the double, and if they give up one, that's not terrible.
Whoa. Make sure it's on. Yep.
That rock's sliding
Whoa,
in the house for sure.
Whoa. May as well freeze it now, I guess. Okay. All right.
Just a great freeze.
Hardest shot in curling, and
This
especially on
is,
on the swinging ice.
And yeah, she's not going to attempt the draw against 2 that close to the 4 foot, being up by 4 points.
May as well freeze it. Try freeze. Yeah.
She's
What
gonna,
does she have to do to get rid of these 2 rocks?
so to get action on the top rock and get it spinning to our right, she's going to throw an out turn and try and hit about a third of a rock. So the shooter is rolling out. So she's making a shot to blank the end.
Okay.
There's if she hits too much of this, the higher rock is rolling towards the 4 foot, which
Okay.
would be the steal point. So really, at 6-2 in the 6th end, if she gives up a steal of 1,
She's still in a very good position.
there we go.
Exactly as you.
She can't be unhappy about that. It's
Right.
Newfoundland made 3 of their last 4 shots perfect.
Perfect.
5 out of 5.
That's right.
And you just
And-
tip your hat to them and take your medicine.
Take your one, or give up your one, and
Give up your 1 and
carry on.
Yeah.
So this is after the 6th end, and the score is, now that Newfoundland has stolen that second point, a score of 6-2.
6-3 now.
I'm sorry, 6-3. That's right. So this is quarterfinal action, and we're just going to talk a little bit about what happens next. And there's 2 quarterfinals on the ice right now for the women's. The other game is Quebec and playing Nova Scotia, and Quebec is up right now on a score of 6-4. And on our sheet, of course, here we have Ontario over Newfoundland 6-3. So the winner of the game that we are watching moves into the semifinals this evening at 7 o'clock. And waiting for them is Alberta. And Team Alberta finished first in the pool. And this is in, that's right, so Alberta's waiting for them at 7 o'clock tonight. And the other quarterfinal winner will be playing against Team Manitoba this evening. On the men's side, our quarterfinal action that's out there right now is Nova Scotia and Alberta. And that score on sheet number 5 is, let's see, can you see that?
It's 6-5 for Alberta over Nova Scotia, and Alberta does have the hammer in the 7th end.
Okay, and the winner of that game will go against Saskatchewan tonight in the semifinal. The other quarterfinal that's on the ice right now on the men's side is BC and Manitoba. And right now BC is leading at a score of 5-1. So the winner of that quarterfinal will play against Ontario this evening. So Ontario on the men's side, Ontario and Saskatchewan were the two teams that went through this event undefeated. And back to our sheet 7 here. I'm sorry, sheet 8. We're watching Newfoundland and Ontario. Ontario's stolen the last 3 ends.
Yeah, took one and then stole the following 2 ends.
Took one and stole the next 2 ends for a score of 6-3 right now. We're playing the 7th end, so 2 ends to go and down 3 and without the hammer.
And Newfoundland's was attempting a couple of center guards, and just didn't turn out perfect, but there's still 6 rocks to come. I think you'll see her we'll see her attempt another center guard, being down 3 points with 2 ends to go.
Clean hit and little roll there. Ontario will be happy with that one, I think.
And the call from Susan Curtis, center guard. So she's gonna change the turn, and then Ontario will have a decision to make, and I think they'll probably opt to try and clear the front and keep this as clean as possible. This rock is excellent line. Looks like it's digging in. It looks like it might be just a bit heavy though.
Yep, on with it. Hurry.
This thing is
Sweepers Annalie, Yokely, and
Keep it going.
just going sideways.
just going sideways, helping it tuck around. So Annalie and Patricia coaxing that one around the corner. Julie asking for a maybe not quite up normal weight hit here. I think that one got curling a little early.
We still have time out, 2 timeouts. No, I know, I realize that, right? Yeah.
Something that is new to these curlers, and something they may not have that much experience with either, is the time clocks that you can see there behind the glass.
That was a short one.
Yeah, they use the championship method now of thinking time, so that your clock will start after your opponents have completed their shot and you've taken control of the house, and your thinking time goes until you release the rock, and then your clock stops. So your 30 minutes is 30 minutes.
30 minutes, okay, 30 minutes of thinking time.
Yeah, of preparation time. That's the way I
So
look
while
at
the
it.
rock is traveling right now, neither clock will be going. And
Nobody.
after the rock comes to rest and Ontario takes over the house, then Ontario's clock will start running.
We saw a little bit of a different strategy change here by Team Newfoundland for the last shot, where they were attempting the center guards and going all out for the steal. Team Ontario made a short run back to lie two, and instead of going back to the center guard, Newfoundland opted to attempt a double,
Right.
with no guards in play. So I think her thinking is that she doesn't want to give up two here, and she feels that she has she would go to the eighth end, attempting to steal three. It's a tall order, but she knows her players better than everybody else. So
She's had success the last two ends with rocks in play.
yeah, she has. The difference in this game has been that one rollout where she, instead of drawing against four, she hit and rolled out and gave up the steal of three in the second end, and that's really been the story of this game.
Yes,
so far it was just, we're talking 4 inches. If that rock curls 4 inches more, the game's 2-1, not 5-0.
Really big difference.
Completely. And then, as a good skip does, as she wiped the slate clean, got back to work, and we saw it. We have it on tape. Her quad rock tap to the edge of the edge of the button,
And that was her first steal. And this one comes up short, but it's a rock in play, so forces Ontario to remove it.
That was delivered by Sigrid Fitzpatrick. She told me her friends call her Siggy.
Siggy.
So, and that I asked her if I was welcome to call her that, and she told me that I was her friend, so I could. So, quite the character. She wanted to say hi to her husband Bill, and she's got 3 sons: Duncan, Raymond, and Arthur, and Raymond's wife Peggy. So, your mom's having a ball here. She's getting well taken care of. So, hope everything's good back home. So we're going to see Team Newfoundland try and bury a rock behind a very outside corner guard. Try and force the issue and make Ontario make a. If this rock isn't perfectly buried, make her roll out.
Everyone, if I could have your attention, please. We have another winning ticket number for the 50/50 draw this afternoon. So if you have white and red ticket number 6637.
Absolutely perfect weight. Just a little bit, just a hair too much ice.
$160. Come on downstairs to the front desk.
Steve, you're not jumping up and running away from the table, so that 50-50 isn't your number?
Yeah. Not me. Just as we're waiting for Team Ontario to do attempt a blank attempt, just looking over on the next sheet, and our friends from the Comox Curling Club just finished their game with Team Ontario, or Team Manitoba. And from what I saw of the game, things did not go Manitoba's way right from the start of that game. They had a real tough one. But congratulations, Team BC. They'll be playing again tonight, 7 o'clock.
7 o'clock this evening, Team BC will be playing against undefeated Ontario. Really solid teams. BC, Manitoba, I've watched them all week, and Ontario, a terrific curlers. So congratulations to them for getting this far, and good luck this evening.
It's going to be some great games at 7 o'clock. So if you're in the Kelowna area, come on down. The kitchen's open. They've got food specials. We expect it to be fairly busy, but this facility is big enough. There's always room for more. So
The other thing that's
it's free.
happening
It's free
is
to get in here.
the other thing that's happening tonight is the Friday night dance and wrap-up party. So you can expect to have a little bit of more action than normal at the curling club tonight. And the event is free to watch. Terrific value.
Yeah, all the way, all the way, all the way.
Free parking, free curling,
All the way. You need help?
Awesome people.
cold beer.
Oh, it's nice to be a toucher.
So I have to apologize. It's taken me this long to realize that on my Newfoundland cheat sheet, we've had Sigrid's name wrong. So I apologize to lead Sigrid Fitzpatrick. And a shout out to her and her family who may have been listening and wondering why I was calling her the wrong name. But indeed, her name is Sigrid Fitzpatrick. Who made those cheat sheets anyway?
Yeah. So we're looking at Team Ontario last rock, 7th end, up by 3. Hit and flop to the inside a hair. I believe that other yellow rock is a counter, and I'm never wrong. So
Well, let's just take a close look here.
she got this one out there a bit.
Out there a bit. Oh, geez. Now we're never going to know if you were always wrong or right.
Nope. And mission accomplished. She got the blank. Not the easiest shot in the world.
That's a difficult way to blank in a game. Here's some more of our sponsors. Tim Hortons, of course, has been keeping the volunteers' coffee urns filled up all morning. Sturgeon, City of Kelowna, generous donation from them, a grant from them. B&A, a local watering hole. Kelowna Ford Lincoln. BC Tree Fruits. Independent Groceries. Thank you again for participating and being a part of this special event. So it's the 8th end already. We're coming home.
So Team Newfoundland's got their work cut out for them. Their strategy's going to be sound. They've got to put a couple of rocks in play. They're going to have to hope for a couple of half shots out of Ontario, but they need to make 8 shots in a row. So
That's right.
Very simple. And the first one slips into the house, as I say that.
They'll be disappointed about that. They would have really wanted that out front to take
Yeah.
advantage of the free guard zone.
And curling being a game of inches, it's 2 feet higher, and that's perfect. And Team Ontario has a decision to make.
Yeah, the strategy would switch on the go here.
And it looks like this one is. I don't know if it's going to. Yeah, just a bit wide on release. So
With that kind of inside out release to the outside, it just
a hair.
wants to run a little bit straighter.
It's a common affliction when upping the weight a little bit, and she wasn't concerned about sticking around. She was just concerned about getting the red rock out of the house. So
Make it go away.
She came up in her weight a little bit, and I think we got perfect guard weight on this one. And I think the idea is going to be bring one tight. And we'll see what Ontario does here.
Very nice line, nice weight. That rock delivered by Sigrid Fitzpatrick. These ladies from the Corner Brook Curling Club.
As Siggy said to me, they're having the time of their lives.
Terrific.
So
What a great sentiment.
That sort of says it all.
More than backline.
Okay, the call here was to throw backline weight with and come down, and if you wiggle off the top rock and move it off the center line, that's fine. Move the rock that's in the house out from behind cover. A lot of good things can happen. And just a little bit, a little heavy and a little wide.
Leaving some rocks in play here.
Yeah, it gives Newfoundland a chance to either throw a extremely high guard, make the double difficult, or she might be choosing. I didn't see what the call was. Excuse me. She might be choosing to come all the way into the top four. So you just want this rock in play somewhere. The steal of 3 is rare, but it's not impossible. And she has called for the high guard. So there's no cobwebs on this girl.
There we go. No, she's going to battle through this end. Very nice.
And now she's just calling the single peel. The double peel is there. Your margin for error is a lot smaller on the double peel, and you potentially could leave the shooter out front as well, which would end up being only a single peel. So she's chosen just to remove 1.
Remove 1 and roll away. Try to
Yep,
clean up that top of the house.
Yep, get off the center line. So there we go. That's good, because being up by 3, she doesn't anticipate drawing against 4 points.
That's right.
So that rock would block the draw, but with being up 3, it's not. It's safely off the center line.
Newfoundland looking for another long guard here, replacing the one that Ontario just removed.
Yes. And another perfect execution.
Well done. That came to play right to the last.
And it's just a hair farther to our right than the other one. She could attempt the double peel. Removing this rock and rolling away is just, it's an excellent call. She knows exactly what she's doing.
Susan Cully's hit release here.
Just beautiful throw.
Well done. Picks that out of there just as called. Susan Curtis asking Pat Spracken to replace the guard.
Line, girls.
Kathy Miles and Sigrid Fitzpatrick sweeping it for line, trying to get it by that long guard. A little rub. Rock slides into the house. Ontario has a chance or an opportunity here for maybe the double.
Yeah, if she makes the double here, then Newfoundland has 1 guard and 3 rocks left that she would need to score with. So if she makes the double, her next shot would be some sort of a takeout, whether it's the guard or if the rock in the house is accessible.
I don't understand that.
Team effort here to clean off something that they can see in the ice.
We're down on time. We only shook that one time, when Susan and I had discussed it, right? We didn't. We still got 2 time out. She'll get in between time.
Family effort here. Lisa looking for the double, moving things
There we go.
around. Removes one of the reds and rolls out of the house herself.
2 minutes and 30 seconds left for 3 rocks, so time is not going to be a problem. I believe they still have their 2 timeouts if they chose to take a break and discuss this.
That's right. There are 2 1-minute timeouts for each team. And neither team have used a timeout this game.
Okay. So it's going to be an open hit for the win for Ontario.
Fly scraping something?
And then that will send them off to the 7 o'clock game tonight.
That's right. The 7 o'clock game being the semifinal. Alberta waiting for the winner of this game.
There we go. Looks pretty good. Just make it.
Make it go away.
Roll's not required here. That's the game. That's the game.
There we go. Shaking hands, bumping elbows, keeping themselves healthy. There's a little bit of a scare of flu earlier on in the event. A few people were not feeling well, so doing the wise thing and bumping elbows. So that ends our game here on sheet 8 at the Travelers Curling Club Championships here in Kelowna, BC. Laurie Seaman with Steve Wright wrapping things up here. Ontario comes out on top with a score of 6-3 in this women's semifinal, or rather quarterfinal. And with Ontario coming out on top, they'll be playing at 7 o'clock Pacific time against Alberta, who won their pool and is waiting for the winner here to come forward and meet them at 7 o'clock. On the other side of the women's, the other semifinal will be Manitoba, who won their pool, playing against Quebec, who's just won this afternoon's semifinal against Nova Scotia at a score of 9-4. Men's side just wrapping up here. As we talked about earlier, BC finished on top of Manitoba, scored a 7-1, so we'll be playing Ontario this evening as well. And in our other men's semifinal, looks like we're playing the 8th end. Right now, with 4 rocks left to play, Alberta is ahead 7-5 over Nova Scotia. Nova Scotia has the hammer, so check online. You can watch the other feed and see how that game ends up. So thank you very much, Steve. We're wrapping it up here today, and we'll be back tonight at 7 o'clock.
Yep. Thank you, Laurie. That was a lot of fun this afternoon.
That was a lot of fun. Take care.